welcome here to Mount Gilead High School, round 2 of the high school football playoffs, as we have the home Mount Gilead Indians and the away Colonel Crawford Eagles. And the winner of this game gets the right to take on either Cinnaberg or Reedsville. But Tim, this is a matchup that I think a lot of people are looking for when the brackets came out for week 2. You know, Mount Gilead got that bye in week 1, and you knew Crawford was probably going to win to get to this week. And this is a matchup here between the KMAC and the N10. Not that far apart. A lot of people are looking forward to this one.
Well, you know, and that's what makes it nice. You know, that doesn't always happen in the regional. You have to, just like we said last week, sometimes you got to travel quite a ways. But nice short trip for the Eagles. Mount Gilead playing at home, but it's 4 or 5 seats. So what do they call it? Chalk. You know, when the guys that are supposed to play are playing. I never know what that means. But
so, I don't know, like an 8-9 seed. Yeah, like an 8-9
but anyways,
seed in the
that's
NCAA
what we got.
tournament, right?
We got a nice matchup between 2 9-1 teams, and go about it a little bit different offensively, but both teams play good defense and have a great time.
Yep. Let's go right into our pregame here. Colonel Crawford, the Eagles, led by head coach Jake Bruner, with a 10-1 record overall, 6-1 in the Northern 10. Defensive line, running game, 2 quarterbacks. Oh my! They beat Reedsville, Winford, and Upper in their past 3 games rather convincingly, Tim.
Well, and that defensive line did a great job, obviously led by the Defensive Player of the Year in the N10. Last year's District Defensive Player of the Year, Payne DeGray. And, you know, the 2 quarterback thing worked very well last week because because Braden Holt had his best day this year.
They're led by the star-studded wide receiver, Tim. Parker Weithman led the league in receiving at 984 yards, 51 receptions, 13 touchdowns total for Parker Weithman.
Well, and that's why I think Braden Holt had a nice game last weekend, almost thrown for 200 yards because he threw a lot of them to him. And, you know, coaching the quarterbacks, I always said, hey, make sure you throw it to the guy who can catch it and score. And they do that very well, and he does that very well. Also a great special teams player.
Well, and they also have Connor McMichael, right? Leading rusher in the N10. Keys to victory for the Colonel Crawford Eagles. You got to get the ball to your playmakers, Weithman and McMichael, obviously, and stack the box. I think another key, Tim, we've talked about it week after week after week after week, and that is to get ahead early and make this Mount Gilead team throw the football if you can get ahead by quite a bit. I don't even know if they can do that.
I don't know what that score is.
That's why I put stack the box on there.
They just don't throw. But it will be interesting to see exactly how many people Colonel Crawford puts in the box. You know,
you put 10 guys in there?
I would put at least 8 because this offensive line is outstanding for them, you know, for Gilead. But, yeah, so it'll be, you got to do some things differently against this Mount Gilead offense than you are accustomed to doing.
Yep, and that's going to be hard. You know, the matchup with Cary, you saw some weaknesses there in the Crawford defense, and we'll see if those come to play here tonight. We move over to the Mount Gilead Indians, 9-1 overall, 6-1 in the KMAC. They're only lost to Cinnaberg, who they could play next week if they win here tonight. We mentioned the ground and pound, tackles for loss. They have the top 6 guys, Tim, in the KMAC in tackles for loss. That seems to be unheard of.
Yeah, I've never heard that at all. One other stat with them, with the ground and pound, they haven't fumbled all year. They haven't lost a fumble all year.
That could play key here tonight.
Yeah, and so, but Coach Reed he's going to stick to the run and stick to the run and then run it some more. That's the way they won't play.
They had a bye last week for week 1 of the playoffs. They beat their rival Cardington the week before. As we move to our player spotlight for the Mount Gilead Indians, I think it has to be none other, Tim, than the senior running back in Carson Barnum. They've only thrown 36 passes all year, Tim, but this guy right here, approaching 2,000 yards on the season through the 10 games, 1,800 yards on the ground, 6.3 yards per carry, and 18 touchdowns here for Mount Gilead.
Well, Carson's got great size at 6'1", 2 1/4, and but he's also averaging 6.3 yards a carry, so that means he's just not some big slug who pushes the pile a little bit. I mean, he can break some long ones. And just a great running back. Anytime you're getting close to 2,000 yards for the season, he's almost 200 yards a game. I mean, he's the guy. There's no doubt about it.
All right, we move into the keys here for Mount Gilead to get the win here tonight. It's going to be a tall task here against Colonel Crawford, but you got to ride those tackles for loss. And Mount Gilead, they're not used to playing in playoff games, Tim, of this magnitude. Maybe bad to say, but you can't play scared.
No, they just got to play the same way they've played all year. But that tackle for loss thing is a great point, because the game that Crawford lost, they had some tackles for losses against them. Carey did. Carey sacked the quarterback, put great pressure on the quarterback. Now they don't have 6 guys in the sack lead, but they have the league leader, I believe, in the K-Mac in sacks. And so they will be able to rush the passer. And if they can, rush them, those guys have been known to throw it up in the air a little bit and get some picks.
Yep, Gage Shipman, second in the league, Tim,
second,
in sacks
okay.
with 7, behind the leader at 10.5, and Gavin Toombs from Fredericktown.
I should know that.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have more pregame here from Mount Gilead. Listen to high school football here on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
Lose weight, gain health. Avita's comprehensive weight loss.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Possibilities. NCUA.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
WBCO and the OH Report. Jared Moore alongside Tim Birie, round 2 here of the playoffs between the home Mount Gilead Indians and the visiting Colonel Crawford Eagles, and it is a packed house here from Mount Gilead. The field's looking rather beautiful to me. That beautiful Bermuda grass, I would say. I'm not a grass professional, Tim, but
Neither am I.
it looks pretty dang good, and there's no leaves on it. So
Yeah, there you go. That's all I
that's
know
your
about.
expertise.
I'm a leaf man.
And 2022 is when they put this grass in the
Well, it
new
looks
facility
great, that's
here
for
at
sure.
Mount Gilead. Definitely, yes, for sure. Looking beautiful here from Mount Gilead. And the rain looks like it's gone for the evening, I believe. So I think we're all ready to play football here tonight. Colonel Crawford will receive the first half kickoff, so we will see neither team out here quite
I think
yet.
most importantly with the weather, the flag is just hanging there. So
And-
it doesn't look like there's a lot of wind. And,
Yeah.
You know, I was wondering as the day was going on, it was so windy, if that was going to affect Crawford's throwing the ball around, which most of their big plays this year have been in the passing game, like we've talked about with Parker Weichman, and others last week. And so it's just a great night, unbelievable night in a way for this late in the season, this in November, and nice night for football.
And Tim, you know, the one thing that's been working well, obviously you watched the game last week, John DeGray up the seam.
Yeah, absolutely. They, you know, I thought it was going to be open often, and I think they could have threw it whenever they wanted, but he got the first long touchdown, and then they hit another guy up the seam later in the game. But, yeah, they did a great job, and like I said, it seemed that for the first time that we've been covering these guys, we've had quite a few of their games, is that, you know, Braden Holt looked very comfortable playing quarterback again. He looked very much like he did at the end of last year.
And that's where we talked about this, Tim, leading up from probably week 5, is Crawford didn't necessarily want a bye week in the first round.
No.
Mount Gilead had the bye week. How do they come out? I mean, it's been 2 weeks since they've had a game, Tim, and that's never happened.
Well, yeah, it hasn't had. So you try to figure it out. You talk to some other coaches that maybe have ever experienced it. But in Ohio, for the playoffs, no one has, because no one's had a bye before till this year with the 12-team deal. But you know, with what Gilead does, the week off probably didn't change a whole lot. I mean, they probably gave him a little time, you know, to rest. You know, coach probably did that a little bit with them, and you know, maybe just got him in the weight room and worked out and did some conditioning and things to keep your conditioning well. And during the week off, and you know, and trying to figure out, because you don't really know who you're going to play, so you're working some fundamental stuff and do some things, but you know, just try to keep everyone fresh. And then once you figure out who you're playing, you know, go at it.
Yeah, and here's, you know, we talked about the interesting stat of them only throwing 36 times this year, Tim. Mount Gilead, they only have a 28% completion rate, too, and only 269 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So when they do throw the ball, it's not necessarily well either.
No, and so, you know, and that might have been something he worked on, you know, during the, you know, I'm not saying they're going to come out and throw it 15 times tonight.
You don't think they're going to come out 5 wide?
No, I don't think so, but I think they probably did work on it a little bit, you know, because you're in the playoffs, and
This is where you empty the bag, right?
Sooner or later, you might have a night where you got to throw the ball.
Yeah.
You know, we talked earlier. I thought it would be an interesting stat to find out of their 36 passes, how many of them did they throw against Centerburg when there was a running clock. You know, and so did they try to say, okay, at some point in the game when you get behind 2 or 3 touchdowns, you say, well, maybe we better try to figure out if we can catch up by throwing it a little bit. But, you know, so I don't know how many times they did, but obviously they didn't complete a lot of them because they're only completing 28% of their passes.
Meanwhile, you look at Peyton Baker, Braden Holt. They're throwing for over 2,000 yards, Tim. Braden Holt had a huge game last week, basically threw for the amount that Mount Gilead has all year, right?
Right.
So, and you're looking at a combined between the two of them. They've only thrown 5 interceptions. Braden Holt almost at an 80% completion rate. He's up with the likes of Julian Sayin in the college ranks.
Well, you know, I thought Baker has played well all year. You know, I mean, I don't know if he's completing 60% of his passes, but I think he's close, isn't he?
60%
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And so I knew he was pretty close. So he's had a nice year, and he's become a running threat.
Yep.
You know, which he wasn't. I mean, he's not going to run a lot.
But he's ran for over 300 yards.
When he's had to scramble, he's gained yards. And so I mean, the 1-2 punch, these two guys handle it well.
Yep.
You know, everyone, you know, people ask me, well, how do they do it? And it's like, I don't really know. But all I know is I think it's because both kids are really great team players and don't really care how it goes. They just go play and run what's called and get it done.
Well, and here's the other thing to look out for, Tim. You know, Colonel Crawford's roster is about as deep as you could possibly get. Mount Gilead, on the other hand, not as deep. Still a solid roster, but they're not going to have the depth that Colonel Crawford has.
No, not at all. But at this point, as long as you don't have any injuries.
When you got fresh legs, you had 2 weeks.
You know, yeah, you've had some time off, so I don't think it'll play a huge part in the game, but you know, the biggest part in the game is going to be, can Crawford especially have success on first and second down on defense? Can they have success on first down on offense?
Yep.
And, you know, Coach Bruner's been known to throw the ball on first down, and I'm sure that will continue tonight to try to loosen their defense up, but they're going to have to protect their people because there's this. You know, this Mount Gilead team has a lot of, obviously plays a very aggressive defense and comes after you hard. So they can't get behind the sticks. Oh, and, you know, their other bugaboo for Crawford. But I also heard that Mount Gilead's been penalized a lot this year as well in a few of their games. It's been covered by some of the other guys that are covering the game tonight. And we've talked about it at length sometimes that Crawford's had some issues with penalties as well.
Here's one of the key stats, Tim. We talk about getting out to a fast start. Colonel Crawford has outscored their opponents in the first quarter 108-19. Mount Gilead, on the other hand, only 71-59. So you talk about Crawford getting out to a fast start. We talk about special teams. We always talk about special teams, and they got a lethal weapon with Joseph Zizzo. So those are things that can win ball games, especially when you have two teams that are so similar.
I think
like these.
That first quarter scoring has a lot to do with style. You know, Crawford's going to be kind of wide open. You know, they'll get under center and get into their wing T look, but they're also going to throw. You know, they throw it and they got some big play. You know, McMichael is a big play guy too, and where Gilead, you can stay close with them, but they just wear you out because they beat you up front. You know, they got great size in that offensive line. I think I'm figuring it averages about 260, and that's good size. I don't care if they say, well, it's, you know, the way it is nowadays, not for Division 5 and 6 and 7 teams, where you're just that big all the way across.
Carson Barnum stands at 6'1", 225 pounds, so he's going to be a bear to bring down here for Colonel Crawford. But if anybody can handle it, you got Payne DeGray, Caden Carpenter on that defensive line.
Well, and then they have great linebackers. Exactly. I really like their linebacker. You know, Dean and McMichael are both good linebackers. They rotate a lot of guys in at linebacker, and so, you know, they do some good things.
All right, enough talking.
Let's play.
It's time to play ball here, week 2 of the high school football playoffs. Mount Gilead will kick it off, and a squibber, and it's immediately caught right at the 47 by Crawford. And they're going to have great field position as Nathan McCartney recovers that at the 47-yard line. I think they tried to get it a little further than that, but he basically caught a line drive like a shortstop on his back.
Shows some squibbing it like that shows great confidence in your defense for Coach Reed.
All right, so here we go. Peyton Baker, or nope, it's going to be Braden Holt. It'll be Connor McMichael working his way to the right side. A nice gain up over the 50-yard line to the 48 into Indians territory already here on the first play from scrimmage. Now run up 2nd down and 5 here to start the game.
Just ran their outside zone and nice 5-yard gain.
Of course, Connor, the monster at running back. Over 1,200 yards rushing. They're going to fake it. They're going to throw it up the seam. There's Weithman.
And it's
almost tried for the one-handed grab, but they're going to call it for pass interference as his right hand was being grabbed by the defensive back.
There it is, a good fake, same play that they ran the first play, and you know he was being grabbed by number 3.
Yep, Hayden Summerlot back there on the coverage.
Had his back arm pinned inside his, so he couldn't reach up with 2 hands. And Weithman did have him beat, so it'll be a first down for Crawford.
Their first down here of the night. Push the ball back, or push the ball closer here to the 33 here for Crawford. 1st and 10 here for the Eagles. They'll have John DeGray sit up here on the near side. Thu and Weithman will go on the far side wide to the right. Connor McMichael to the left here of Holt in the gun. They'll send Thu in motion. They'll fake it to him. Holt on the run. He's spun down. I think he got across the line of scrimmage. He does to the 31, so a 2-yard gain there for Braden Holt. Better run up 2nd down and 8. And here comes Avery Powers, the sophomore running back.
So the last time, well, not this time, so Weithman is back matched up with Summerfeld. Summerlot. With Summerlot, but last time John DeGray was, so big height advantage for John.
Powers goes in motion. He'll go into the slot here. They'll hand it on the counter to McMichael. Burst through the line into the 2nd level and into the end zone. Connor McMichael, 31 yards to the house.
Just faked the ball to Thu in motion and gave it to McMichael on the counter, and he was off to the races. Here's the replay on the OH report, and he got guys out front, just a great scene. He barely got touched at all, and once he broke the line of scrimmage, it was off to the races. McMichael outrunning everybody. Eagles with a quick 6-0 lead.
6-0 lead, trying to make it 7. 6-7. Joseph Zizzo through the uprights. They do indeed get the 7. And Colonel Crawford, the start they needed, the start they wanted. 10:32 left here in the first quarter. You're listening to high school football here on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Together for just $6. The
5,
daily double
5,
meal
4,
only at your
3,
Lewis family McDonald's.
2,
Delicious
you're
deals.
alive.
Served daily.
Back here on WBCO in the OH Report, Colonel Crawford easy does it on the first drive, 7-0. Joseph Zizzo's kick deep and over the head of everybody, and a touchback.
Well, something we've said over and over again this year. What a weapon he is, and now they start on the 20 where Crawford started, near the 50.
Well, this is where the special teams comes to play for Crawford off the right foot of Joseph Zizzo. And now this is where we get our first look.
Well, let's take a look.
At number 32, Carson Barnum.
And also, let's get a good look at the adjustments that Crawford is going to make defensively. And there it is. They have 5 defensive linemen in the game.
And why not? Send a couple in
and
motion towards the left side. It'll be Barnum up the middle and grabbed and taken down.
He still gets 4.
Yep, gets a few. The first one to meet him was Luke Chrisman.
Well, Colonel Crawford started with 5 down guys, and then Payne DeGray was actually standing outside as a linebacker, and then he got in his stance. And, so they had 6 defensive linemen down there. So like a 6-2-3. So I said 8 guys in a box. I called one right for a change.
Packet with 10.
At least on that down.
Packet with 10.
Now it's back to 5. Kind of a 5-3 look.
Second down and
Back
5, and they'll run it right up the middle. Nowhere to go. Crawford defensively. Forward progress is met. Connor McMichael, the first one to touch him. No gain on the play. And I'll bring up 3rd down and 5 here for Mount Gilead. And where do they go at 3rd and 5?
It'll also
Doubt
be,
they throw the football.
Kind of interesting to see how much Crawford subs defensive. They usually sub a lot. But, with this one, maybe not as much. Nope,
they'll give it on the outside. They'll cut it back across the 30.
Got a first down.
And plows ahead for the first down indeed.
Is that Har?
That was Tyler Har. He's more of the speed back here for Mount Gilead. And he turns the edge and turns it into a first down up to the 34. So they pack it inside, Tim, but this time they go to the outside. And that time Har able to get the edge of the first down.
Well, they ran, like the buck sweep out of the wing T look, and he was able to get to the perimeter and showed good speed. First down.
And it'll be Barnum again, up over the 35, tripped up to the 38-yard line was Barnum. Flider went in motion that time. They faked the counter to him and then run it right up the middle. Payne DeGray with the tackle there for Crawford.
And this is what it is, the slow death.
Yeah, and
of Mount Gilead's offense, where they just 2, 3, 4 yards, first down. 2, 3, 4, 5 yard first down.
2nd down and 6. Barnum right behind here, and they'll plow it ahead to the 40-yard line. He's met by Chrisman again. Gain of 2 and another 3rd down and 4 here for Mount Gilead. And you're going to have to look here, though, for Cole Fricky to run around the edge as well.
Yeah,
we saw Kerry have success with that against
where
Crawford.
He pulls the ball and takes off. Absolutely.
So 3rd down and 4. You talk about it, Tim, the slowness as the play clock ticks down under 15 seconds.
Like going to the dentist for a root canal.
I don't know if it's quite that painful. It's playoff football, Tim.
I'm telling you, it's tough. They're their wing T. Look, they moved.
And this is where you get off schedule, Tim.
Yep.
Now you're going to be in 3rd and 9. And don't be surprised, right, if this is 4-down territory, because you're going to, they're going to maybe run the ball twice here.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be 4-down territory. I think no matter how close he gets, but this will be interesting. We might see a pass.
Don't count on it.
I'm saying they worked on it this week, maybe.
7:10 left here in the opening quarter.
Well, I didn't see Frick start clapping when the coach gave him the play, so I don't know. He's going to
roll out. Fricky rolls to the right, steps up on the run, throws a strike. It's caught right on the sideline by Hayden Summerlock, and just enough for the first down of the 45. And Mount Gilead's moving ahead.
Good job by Summerlock. It was just a comeback route, and he just went down the field about 12 yards, came back to 10. I told you when I watched him warm up, he's got a nice arm. I mean, he throws a nice tight spiral.
Fricky will give it to the outside. This is Har, turns the edge, and he's met right at the 49. And he was met with a load of force there. Connor McMichael, along with Walker Kramer there to meet him. It'll be a 3-yard gain to the 49 and 2nd down and 7. 7-0 Colonel Crawford, and they scored so quickly, and now Mount Gilead dragging this first quarter along here with 6:20 to go here in the opening quarter. That's your type of game, though, Tim. You like those quick quarters, right?
I like the quick quarter, but,
You like to see a little bit more action?
yeah, I like to see the ball in the air a little bit.
Fricky, he's going to
He's
throw
gonna
it
do it again.
This is what you wanted. Fricky
Oh, my
steps
gosh,
up.
he's got a guy wide
and he
open.
had a guy wide open, and he throws it about 10 yards shy of Har out on the 40-yard line, and I think he probably scores without a doubt, Tim.
Har was who he faked the ball to, and Har went out on the backside. There was no one covering him from the time he left the backfield. He was just running free. I mean, and Frick held the ball for a really long time, then got guys in his face and threw it way short. I mean, he could have threw it after taking 2 steps on the boot action, and Har would have still scored.
Well, he'll go under center. This time he'll hand it off. This is Har trying to get the edge. Colonel Crawford contains John D. Gray. Back at the 47. Met him with the force. Tackle for a loss. And it's 4th down here for Mount Gilead. And decision time here for head coach Mike Reed.
Punt it. Big advantage for Crawford, I think, defensively is when both the Grays are in. Even though Payne is, bigger, weighs more, he's still very athletic. I mean, he's a great basketball player. John, obviously, a great basketball player. Doesn't weigh as much, but still he's very athletic, so he can chase guys down.
Well, John DeGray will be blocked. It's Chrisman it's Kramer with the block.
But it doesn't matter.
And Crawford's going to have it at the 22-yard line. Walker, Kramer.
Just a great job. Kramer just split the 2 guys, and he was all over it. Did a great job of getting his hands up in case he missed it, and so he wouldn't run into the kicker, but he blocked it with his elbows.
You could not ask for a better start if you are the Colonel Crawford Eagles. They're going to have it set up here at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10, 5:14 left here in the first.
It'll be interesting to see what Coach Bruner comes up with here. He's
go
been
for
known
the touchdown here, Tim.
On the quick change to put one up. He's got Baker in, but it doesn't matter which quarterback's in. They both throw it equally well.
2 wide receivers wide to the right. They'll fake it to McMichael. Peyton Baker into the second level, tripped up shy of the 1st down, but he gets inside the 15. Colonel Crawford's going to have this in the red zone. It'll be about an 8-yard gain there for Peyton Baker to bring up 2nd down and 8, or 2nd down and 2.
Year, Baker faked it that time on the play they've been running a lot to McMichael on that wide zone, and Baker's just more athletic this year. He's faster, and so a nice 8-9 yard gain on 1st down, and they're in business here.
2nd down and 2. It's McMichael. Turns the edge, gets the 1st down, pushes ahead inside the 10, and it'll be 1st and goal here for Colonel Crawford. Moving to the north, Colonel Crawford with a 7-0 lead already. 4:20 left here in the opening quarter. Weithman and John DeGray will split out here wide to the left.
They're running that outside zone to death. They're pulling that guy from the backside and kicking out. And
they'll take it to the weak side, and McMichael caught from behind inside the 5. Caden St. Clair, the tackle there for Mount Gilead, but it's going to bring up 2nd down and goal here inside the 5. Just keep
gain of 5.
feeding it to McMichael.
All those tackles for loss. Boy, Gilead could use one big time right now.
One-on-one matchup here between Summerlot and Weithman on the outside. They're going to give it to the guy, Connor McMichael. Touchdown number 2, and Colonel Crawford extends the lead 13-0.
Boy, right now they're making it look pretty easy, Jared.
Easy does it. 3:32, 7 minutes apart. They're scoring touchdowns. McMichael with both of them, this time from 4 yards out. And Connor McMichael continues to do what he does best, and that is run the football and score touchdowns. Joseph Zizzo, he'll do what he does best, and again, he'll knock it through to make it 14-0. Colonel Crawford with the lead, 3:32 left here in the first quarter. You are listening to the Lewis Family McDonald's Game of the Week here on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
I'm Steve Krall, president of First Federal Community Bank. And here at First Federal Community Bank, our playbook consists of the 3 C's: care, curiosity, and courage. Just like your team, our 3 C's strengthen our communities and our team here at First Federal Community Bank. On behalf of our team here at First Federal, we want to wish all of our area teams and coaches the best of luck this season. Yes!
The Old Nevada Road.
On WBCO, Jared Moore and Tim Birie here on the OH Report as well. Joseph Zizzo's kick, end over end, and it's botched at the 5. Mount Gilead taking it along the right side, and they're going to be caught inside the 10.
Maybe to the 11. But, boy, they're just making mistake after mistake right now, especially in the special teams game.
Yeah, they haven't lost a fumble all year, Tim, but this is a situation. Jacob Wilt back there on the return. This is a situation where they get behind, Tim, and what do they do?
Well, they have
trailing 14-0.
They've been behind a little bit. I don't know this early if they've been behind by 2 touchdowns. But, you know, you said where it's been close in the first quarter. And but right now I don't think they're going to change much. He's going to hand the ball off. And he did.
Give it off inside. I believe it's Barnum. A couple of yards from the shadows of their own goalpost, or the harvest moon on the north side there. With this first quarter approaching 3 minutes. Crawford with a 14-0 lead. They'll bring up 2nd down and 6 here for Mount Gilead from their own 14-yard line. Fricky will go under center here, and he'll give it inside again to Barnum, who is met by John DeGray across the 15. Gets to the 16, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Well, that time they just ran their power off tackle, and John DeGray from his – he's supposed to be playing corner, but he's really playing like a linebacker because they got 2 tight ends now in the T formation.
His job's to just seal the edge, right? They'll give it inside.
Ran a trap.
And just corralled
Stuffed
at the 17 and stuffed. Walker Kramer in there again, and Caden Carpenter, the big guy, in there on the tackle. Just met with the force, and Mount Gilead will send the punt unit out once again here for 4th and 3.
Yeah, they tried to run a quick trap and you know, maybe pop one, and yeah, Crawford having nothing to do with it. They just got too many guys at the line of scrimmage.
And
I mean, they're
Mount
playing
Gilead
with 2 tight ends, so they have 7 guys to block it, but they had a quarterback and 3 backs back there, so they had 7 to block 9.
They'll punt it away. This time they'll get it away. Short punt.
Whiteman got a lot of room.
It's going to let it roll, and he will let it roll to the 40 and not pick it up. Surprising move there by Parker not to pick that up on the bounce, but he's going to let his offense, who has been very successful, continue to work with still great field position from their own 40-yard line.
The ball's at the 40. It's like their worst field position of the night, but it's still pretty darn good.
Yeah, they started at the 47 and the 23-yard line respectively. The 23 on Mount Gilead's side after the block punt by Walker Kramer. Nate McCartney with a squib kick field from the 47. And now Colonel Crawford will start out offensively from their own 40-yard line. And it will be...
Boy, they got trips over here.
Trips to the right. And it's Braden Holt in there at quarterback. They're going to get set up and right immediately to the line.
They're going to try
and Holt's going to throw, but he's going to be chased, and he flips it out to Connor McMichael, who turns it up over the 40, tiptoes down the sideline, and ran out of bounds at the 46. Nice job by Connor just to make something out of nothing. Holt flipped it to him with the right hand. Caden St. Clair ran McMichael out of bounds, but this will put them at about second down and 3.
Yeah, he broke that tackle. Once he flipped it, they're thinking they're going to get a sack. They're one of them big tackles for loss, and next thing you know, because of his athleticism, Holt's able to flip it forward, and McMichael gets someone to break a tackle and gain 7 yards.
Trips to the right here for the Eagles. Connor McMichael in the backfield. They'll roll out to the right. And on the run, it's caught. There's the star-studded wide receiver, Parker Weithman, jumping over defenders. Parker Weithman. Dare we say it?
Well, he booted out. He gave a little boot action. He had all kinds of room to run. I thought he might run it. But then all of a sudden it was a flood look, so he had, and then Weithman shows true athleticism, hurdles the guy, stays in bounds, 53 yards later. This thing's 20-0.
And Colonel Crawford in complete control. Parker Weithman, 53 yards to the house from Braden Holt. Joseph Zizzo, per usual, knocks it through. It's 21-0. Colonel Crawford. You're listening to high school football here on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
Here, 419-562-0057.
You're live.
See the difference.
Back here on WBCO and the OH Report. You hear that, Tim?
Yes.
Silence?
Yeah. Holy smokes. He kicks it down to the 2 again.
Yep, this will be.
They got it covered really well.
Taking it to the outside, and again. Again. Mount Gilead is going to have it inside their own 10-yard line. And once again, the weaponry of Joseph Zizzo coming into play. And Tim,
what I like is these young guys making these plays. 50
Walker
and 10.
Kramer, he's having the game of his life right now.
That's number 50 covering kickoffs and tackling the guy in a 9-yard line.
So 1st and 10 inside their own 10. And Mount Gilead going under center. I'll give it to Barnum again off the left side. And again, just nowhere to go. And, Tim, they saw a little bit of success going to the outside on that first drive. They picked up a first down.
And then Hart took the big loss, and so they haven't tried it again since he took the loss. And, like we said, it's, they want to do it like slow death, but instead of 4-3-4-4-5, it's 4-1-3-2-2-2-2-2-1.
That's not a recipe for success, is it?
No, that's not enough. And then giving up huge plays.
2nd down and 8. What could be the last play here of the first quarter. Harr bounces it back in, but he's going to be met
get it outside
at the 12, and still only a 2-yard pickup there, Tim. Payne DeGray in there on the tackle, and that indeed will take us to the end of the first quarter, where it was completely dominated by the Colonel Crawford Eagles. Wow. They're looking mighty fine here in the first quarter. They lead at 21-0. You are listening to the Lewis Family McDonald's of Bucyrus and Gallion Game of the Week here on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
In business and ag banking, it's not just about the numbers, it's about the people. At First Federal Community Bank, we believe relationships are the foundation of every successful partnership. We can help you grow your farm through various ag programs, including working with our local FSA offices, as well as Farmer Mac. We have many commercial business programs to help make your day-to-day operations easy and convenient. Because when you bank with us, you're not just a customer, you're family.
West Mansfield Street in the heart of New Washington.
Back here on WBCO in the OH Report, and Tyler Haar turns the corner that time here on the first play of the second quarter and picks up a first down here for Mount Gilead. So they turned the edge that time, Tim, and found success on the outside with Tyler Haar.
Yeah, that time he did get outside and got all the way to the perimeter, and a nice 16-yard gain for first down.
To the 28-yard line. And it'll be an inside handoff again. Barnum, he's just been bottled up here so far, Tim. Just nothing going on the inside, just 2 yards there once again, and they'll bring up second down.
On his last 5 carries, he's gained 11 yards. I mean, they're just stuffing him right now. Well, and again, I know it's a broken record. Crawford has 8 guys in the box at all times, sometimes 9. And saying, okay, throw it if you want, but here we go again. You know, there they all are. They're all up there.
They'll give it to, nope, they'll run the option pitch this time, and around the edge and on the carry was Brogan Leiter. Gets over the 35. He'll be close to a first down. I think he's about a yard shy here. And they'll run up third down and 1 here for Mount Gilead, or they're going to measure. 34 Flighter there on the carry. They're going to give him a first down. The refs contemplated, said we have enough to give him that first down to the 38. So a couple first downs now, and Mount Gilead starting to churn it out here on the first 2 minutes of the second quarter.
Well, again, you know, they were able to get outside. That time running the option, executed it very well. Unfortunately, Crawford didn't have anyone on the pitch man. You got to be very assignment-oriented on that option.
It'll be Barnum again, and he'll be dragged down. He'll pick up a yard here, but just that host of Eagles flying in to meet him right at the 40-yard line. Caden Carpenter, once again, coming out of the bottom of the pile there. But a 3-yard gain to bring up second down and 7. I think that's a pretty generous spot.
I thought so, too.
Looks like they had him bottled up at the 39.
When you're down, the problem is when you're down 20-0.
I mean, they don't need it. Yeah.
They don't need an 18-play drive.
Flighter will go in motion and work his way on the sweep to the 45. Be a 4-yard gain there for Flighter, and they'll bring up third down and 3. This isn't the first time they've been met with a 3rd and 3, and haven't been successful so far, but they've picked up a couple of first downs here on this drive, so we'll see what's in store. Do they roll Fricky out here?
Yeah, it might not matter because of how much they gain, but I would think Coach Reed would definitely go for it this time, unless they take a big loss.
I mean, you got to, right?
Absolutely.
Flighter goes in motion, and they'll give it inside to Barnum. Barnum, Walker, Kramer. Did he get the first down again? I think this is a generous spot.
Yeah, they're
to
moving
the
the
48.5-yard line. They give him the first down once again. I mean, They'll give him the 49.
We got a pretty good view where we're at
You
here.
see on the replay, he was met way back at the 47, but they're going to give him a couple more yards here.
Yeah, that was a very, very good spot for Mount Gilead. That gives them 5 first downs now.
This near side official. But they'll line up again from their own 49. Crawford stacks the box. Haar goes in motion. Barnum takes it, and he'll be met right at the 49. And they're going to give him a yard here to the 50.
Give him to the 50. I mean, I'm telling you.
Let's watch the replay here, because there is no way. Nope, no replay. Jory, come on. What are you doing?
The guy, the official on the, I don't know. I've been watching the official on the far side, the lineman.
Both of them are doing it.
And he's been just moving up. I've been watching the guy closest to us, but, man, those guys, they're giving him an angle.
I joke with Jory. She's very good. She's very good. Flighter takes it around the edge, turns it up. He gets to the 49. We'll see if they mark this at the 45.
I think this is a proper spot. Yeah. No, they marked this one odd. Yes.
He gets to the 49. Dom Dean in there to corral
Well,
him.
you can tell Mount Gilead's already off schedule because Flighter only carried the ball. I don't think he carried the ball 20 times all year. And he's already carried it 3 times in the first half here because they're trying to come up with something.
Flighter, 30 attempts on the year, Tim.
30?
30.
Yeah, so, and he carried it 3 already today. So that's his average per game.
It'll be 3rd down and 8 here for the Indians. They'll give it to Haar.
Nothing.
Tripped up.
Now,
Luke Crispin in there on the tackle.
They finally gave him a loss.
Payne to Gray as well. They do give him a loss of 1 or bring up 4th and 9. And you got to consider here, Coach Reed, I mean.
I think they go for it.
It's not like your defense has stopped them anyways.
No, I don't think you have much choice.
They're going to bring out.
No, they're going to punt it.
Well, Fricky's coming out, but he's going to punt it.
He may keep it. It'll be interesting. Crawford may just keep their defense on the field and tell Weissman to go back and fair catch it. In fact, he's moving back up. I don't think they're going to put him back. I don't know.
Now
he's going to back
up to
up.
the 30.
But, yeah.
They will punt it away, and this is not good at all. This is shanked.
He shanked it.
This might be a net of a yard.
So
nope, to the 45.
He didn't kick it very far.
6 yards.
And again, Crawford with, I know, broken record. Crawford with great field position.
Well, at that point, you might as well just going for it. Of course, hindsight's 20/20, right?
Yeah. Well, you didn't expect a 6-yard punt.
Well, Crawford already in command up 21-0. 6:41 left here in the first half, and they're looking to punch this one in. And they're looking.
I never had a 6-yard punt.
Well, that's good.
I think they were all over at least 20. I did have an 80-yard one, though. A lot of roll.
Yeah.
Good wind and a lot of roll.
Baker fakes it, looking out, long.
Oh,
Here he is, but it's going to be a short pass. Parker Weissman, unbelievable. The star-studded wide receiver, 1 of 1, Parker Weissman.
You know, here's the replay. Baker put way too much air under it. 2 is all over him, interfering. Weissman tips it to himself. 27-0.
Unbelievable.
Crawford's got 27 points, 1 first down. They've hit a few big plays.
55 yards that time for Parker Weissman. Joseph Zizzo again knocks it through. Folks, get out the adding machine. Crawford rolling. 6:30 left here in the first half. 55 yards for Parker Weissman, and Crawford up 28-0 here on WBCO and the OH Report.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Before you deal $35.81.
Back here on WBCO in the OH report, Mount Gilead will fill this at the 5. Working his way, I think it was Summerlot up the right side that
He
time.
still didn't get it to the 20.
Just, I mean, if you were to talk about this with Coach Bruner earlier in the week, and you said, hey, Coach, you're going to be up 28-0 with 6:26 in the first half, what would he have said to him?
I would have said, if first of all, he would have said, I had this dream, and everything went perfect, and we were up 28-0 because, you know, we're just doing everything right. But unfortunately, this is real for Mount Gilead, so Coach Reed is having a nightmare.
It's been basically perfection here for Crawford. They've had a block punt. They've had a 55-yard catch, a 53-yard catch. Connor McMichael on the ground. And also, I mean, he's been saving his legs, Tim.
And they just gained 1 yard because Payne DeGray took the guy that came out to block him, threw him about 3 yards deep into the backfield, and then made the tackle. Centerburg is up 14-7.
On Ridgewood. Winner of that game faces the winner of this game. And that will be a home game
Barnum's
for
got
the
it
higher
again.
seed as Barnum takes it again. He'll get over the 20-yard line to the 21. And again, that's going to run up 3rd and 5. And Tim, at what point, I mean, I know your game all year, you only have just over, 200 yards passing on the year, but eventually when you're down 28-0, you can't keep trotting it out there with 10 seconds on the play clock for 2-yard gains.
Well, one thing he's looking at, unfortunately, he only threw 36 passes and 3 of them were picked off. So he doesn't want it to get worse, but you got to throw it.
He's going to throw again, throws it, almost intercepted.
And there it was, that close to being picked. Payne DeGray was all over him. I don't know how he got it around him in the first place.
Carson Rader in there on the coverage for Colonel Crawford. 4th and 5, punt team coming out again, and Tim, Crawford continues to roll, and we may be looking at a running clock here in the second half.
This is getting very ugly.
And what might be the quickest game, maybe, of the year.
Well, and if Centerburg would continue,
You're right.
If Centerburg would continue winning, I have another short drive to a game.
Look at you. Centerburg's not too far.
Whiteman got a lot of room if this stays in.
He's going to let it roll out of bounds.
It's going to go out of bounds. Much better kick than the last one, but they're still going to be near the 50-yard line.
It'll be around the end of 44.
So
1 yard shy of where they were on the last play, where Baker.
It will be interesting to see what Crawford does. I mean, you got to have, right now, Gilead's got to be stunned. So do you go for one more home run while they are struggling so badly?
Do you go for the knockout here in the first half? It's going to be Holt in there at quarterback. Cochran and Van Wintersteller wide to the right, but they're going to go the other way to Thu. On the comeback route, Thu cuts it back to the outside, spun down, close to the first down at the 47-yard line. And it'll be maybe a half a yard shy.
He might have had John DeGray for a touchdown running down the seam again. But it looked like they wanted to run that underneath route, and Thu did gain 9 yards.
2nd down and 1,
They're still
4:26
going
left
empty
here in the first half. Thu goes in motion around the outside, looking for the bubble screen. Here's Weithman again. Weithman down the sideline, inside the 40, and then he will just be wrestled out of bounds here at the 40-yard line. Forward progress should mark him inside the 40.
It is an equal opportunity good spot because they got him down to the 38.
Yeah, he was there, and then forward progress brought him down. Barnum finally knocks him out. I'll mark it at the 38. 1st and 10 here for Crawford with about 4 minutes to go here in this first half, leading 28-0.
Well, they got another first down finally.
Few and far between, but I think they'll take it. Powers goes in motion into the slot. They'll fake the hand. Nope, they'll give it to McMichael. McMichael on the hash and then cuts it back in, and he's corralled for just a yard gain. Might be the shortest play of the night.
By far.
To bring up 2nd down and 9.
So that was a play he scored the touchdown on. This time held him to a yard gain. John DeGray out here on a short guy. So watch for the long go route to him.
Thu goes in motion, it's McMichael, and he'll be stuffed.
He's going down.
Back at the 40-yard line, Connor McMichael dropped for a loss. We're up 3rd and long here for Crawford. 3rd and 11.
So there's one of those tackles for a loss finally.
So 3rd down and 11. Holt still in there at quarterback. They're going to go 5 wide, empty set. Trips to the right side here for Colonel Crawford. Holt to throw, steps up on the run, throws it across the middle, and it's dropped. Probably a little bit behind there of Wintersteller. The receiver crossing over the middle, and it'll bring up a 4th down here for Crawford. And we'll see what Coach Bruner decides. Do they pen Mount Gilead deep, or
I
do
think
they
he's going to go for it.
Holt is the punter.
He may go for it, though. And the way their defense is played.
They got the offense out there, Tim. 2:25 left here in the first half. Mount Gilead desperately needs to stop. They'll go 2 on the far side. It'll be Thu motioning here far to the right. Holt looking that way, rolls to the right. Holt steps up, lobs it to Weithman, tipped up and incomplete. And that time, great coverage by Hayden Summerlot, and it falls incomplete. And Mount Gilead gets their first stop of the night.
Yeah, there was really nowhere for him to go.
So Mount Gilead will now have their best field position of the night. 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. So they get the stop, but now there's 2:18 left here in the first half, so they're going to have to hurry it up. They do have all 3 of their timeouts.
Okay.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Indians from their own 39. They got to get the ball off the field there. So Mount Gilead, their best field position here, trailing by 4 touchdowns.
But they only have 2:18 to go.
Slider goes in motion. It'll be Barnum up the middle. Barnum met and taken down. Maybe a half-yard loss here. They're going to give him the 40. Another yard gain there for Barnum.
Well, he's got 15 for 33 is all he's got, so just barely averaging over 2 yards a carry.
2nd down and 9. Clock ticking down to 1:45. They're going to have the possession. They're going to throw. The receiver in Summerlot slipped coming out of his route, and it falls incomplete to the grass.
See, the big problem is now they're 3rd and long. They might have to give the
there
ball
on
back
2nd down, yeah. Crawford
And Crawford's got all 3 timeouts left.
Why not run a 2-minute drill, right?
Oh, I think they will. I don't think there's any doubt.
So 3rd and 9 here for Mount Gilead. They're going to run it around the outside. It's Har to the 45, and he'll be met at the 46-yard line. Parker Weithman cleans it up.
Roberts called timeout, I believe.
Yep, I think Bruner takes the timeout. So, indeed, Crawford wants another possession, but they're going to have to get a stop here if Mount Gilead goes for it. But do you go for it, Tim?
That time Gilead ran the counter and was able to gain 4 yards. But
so they're not 4th and 4.
But it's still 4th and 4. And to be honest, they're not averaging close to 4 yards a carry.
I mean, you give up a chance at a touchdown right off the bat. Crawford with great field position
Slider's
here.
The only runner that's gained that is averaging 4 yards a carry. He's averaging exactly 4 yards a carry. So the other guys, you know, and Har's averaging like a little over 4 yards a carry, but the big fella just a little over 2 yards a carry. They're going for it. Boy, this is big. This is huge.
It's Barnum here, set up behind him. Under center goes Fricky. They almost get him to jump, do they?
They did.
Exactly what they were looking for, Tim. With the hard count, they get the first down.
Yep.
Crawford jumps. And they are in to Colonel Crawford territory with 1:28 to go here in the first half. And Mount Gilead still with all 3 of their
It would have been
timeouts.
interesting to see if they were actually going to snap the ball. I'm not sure they were going to. They might have had the freeze play on, and unfortunately, he jumped.
So Fricky goes under center again. And
Gonna
Fricky's
throw it.
going to throw. Fricky looking up the middle, and it's caught. And taking a knee at the time was Summerlot at the 40-yard line. He's going to be a half a yard shy here of the first down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 1, but they get to the 40 here with 1:12, and the clock continues to roll. Mount Gilead, play clock under 25. Fricky to throw again. Pressure coming. Heaves it long. He's got Summerlot, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah. He ran by Weithman. Weithman might have got a little tug on the way as he was running by.
I don't know. He had some separation for sure.
But he was open, no doubt about it.
So we're up 3rd down and 1 here for Mount Gilead with 56 seconds left.
Well, Gilead's got all their timeouts left too, I believe.
Yep.
So, you know, they need to run the ball and get the first down here and then call timeout.
It'll be Barnum with Fricky, quarterback sneak, and he will spin around for the first down to the 37. Clock stops momentarily at 52 seconds. They'll get a play in. Keep the timeouts, but they're going to huddle up here, Tim.
Well, you get a stop, so they're out of the huddle quick. So the clock stops so they could set the things.
Still over 10 seconds off the clock here. Fricky to throw. Looking out to the outside, and it's caught short of a 5-yard gain. And clock continues to roll. 25 seconds left here in the half. Why no timeouts? And finally, Coach Reed takes the timeout with another 10 seconds coming off since that play, Tim.
Yeah, he should have called timeout as soon as the guy was on his knees to catch it. I mean,
just interesting there to let all that time run off, Tim. I mean,
you know, that's 10 seconds. You got to.
And then he's trying to get a play in, and they're still going to huddle up.
Yeah, so. Well, it's whatever they practice, you know, and so I'm sure they don't do a lot of 2-minute drill stuff. And so it's hard. But, yeah, so it's right now. They still, you know, they only have 21 seconds left, and they have 33 yards or so to go.
Galleon leading Cloverleaf 13-3. Looks like Stuckman with a couple of touchdowns.
It's a game at Galion, right?
Yep. Carries Dash Puckett with a 1-yard touchdown run to put them on top of Margaretta 14-7.
Ooh, it's a bit of an upset there. Brewing. Margaretta had a nice year.
They were the number 1 seed, weren't they?
Right.
Yeah. Fricky to throw, heaves it long down the right side, and just
overthrown.
Out of the reach there of Hayden Summerlot. And a little extracurricular
fans wanted
activity
pass
going
interference,
on.
but I don't think it was. And I think they were.
Oh, nice. Got a pool splash there.
I think they were calling for a roughing the passer call.
I think they were looking for the shove there from DeGray at the end of the play.
Is that what it
Hayden
was?
Summerlot is drenched right now. Gave him just a little push, and I don't know if DeGray had thought that he had the ball. It is what it is.
15 seconds is all we got left. So they're going to call another timeout. No, Crawford's going to call this one. Get their defense set.
So it'll be a 3rd and 5. You know, they do have to pick up a first down, but they probably only have time for a couple more plays anyways, Tim, so you got to put the ball in the air.
Absolutely. You know, and it's weird. Frick's got a nice throwing motion, it seems. The ball's tight spiral. He's just very inaccurate. You know, he just overthrows a lot of guys, throws it, you know, and then he'll throw it deep. When he's throwing it deep, he overthrows them. When he's throwing it short, he throws it short, and a lot of times they have to come back to the ball or go down on their knees to catch it. And, you know, a lot of that is because they don't use throwing the ball, as I've said it, any quarterback coach has said it, is from the bottom up. You know,
just
and,
a
28%. Young kids want to always use their arm instead of using their whole body. Your legs are what really give you all the power.
3rd down and 5 here for the Indians. They'll hand it off. This will be Barnum running it up the middle.
Probably his best game for a while.
He might have the first down, but Crawford will take that all day for just a 5-yard gain.
They're going to give him 5 and give him the first down.
Hey, let's give a round of applause for the unsung heroes who make this field and this facility look so good.
So the timeout here by Mount Gilead with 10 seconds.
They still got one in their pocket, so they could run the ball technically one more time and then throw it in the end zone if they don't score, or throw the ball underneath and, you know, call quick timeout. Problem is, if you throw it underneath, the kid's got to be smart enough to go down eventually. If he's got some space to run, he's got to go down, and if he's not going into the end zone. So let's see what Coach Reed's going to come up with.
Lipsick leads Mohawk 14-0. About 7 minutes to go in the first half of that one. But Mount Gilead trailing 28-0, looking for a score with 10 seconds left here in the first half. Fricky back to pass. Now rolls out to the left. Being chased by Payne DeGray. Throws it on the run. Incomplete. Intended for Jacob Wilt. Little too high for him. With 4 seconds left here in the half, now Mount Gilead does one more play.
That is the 9th pass of the half.
Well, they passed it more than they. He's only completed 10. Of course, he's attempted 30 as Fricky. Over 30.
So 20% of their attempts for the year have been tonight.
Don't see that very often, do you?
No. I thought you'd be more impressed that I figured it out real quick like that.
Nothing surprises me anymore with your math, Tim. 2nd down and 10. Mount Gilead has to go to the end zone and a timeout.
Oh, he called his last time out.
What's in the playbook here, Tim, for a quarterback that's struggling?
No, you just got to, you know, you only got 10 seconds and no timeouts. So you got to throw it in the end zone. You know, I don't think they have enough time to get a first down.
Yeah, 4 seconds.
And get the ball spiked.
Yeah, 4 seconds left here in the half.
So you got to just throw it deep. Throw it to the end zone and hope you get a tip and a touchdown.
We shall see. The Mount Gilead Indians trailing 28-0 here. 4 seconds left in the first half. Colonel Crawford, complete domination. They've only been stopped one time here by Mount Gilead, but now they're going to try for the end zone here to end the first half. Go too wide to the left. Fricky will roll to the left. Being chased, Har makes the catch and then runs out of bounds, and the clock hits 0. And that'll end the first half. Complete domination by the Colonel Crawford Eagles. The N10 came to play here tonight, and Colonel Crawford with that 28-0 lead. Parker Weithman, a 55-yard touchdown catch, a 53-yard touchdown catch. Connor McMichael, a 31-yard touchdown run, and a 4-yard touchdown run as well. Mount Gilead will receive the second half kickoff, but they trail it 28-0 here at halftime. Stay tuned here to the OH Report for the halftime show with the Colonel Crawford and Mount Gilead bands. Stay tuned here to WBCO for the ONN halftime show as well. And then we'll come back and recap the first half, give you Tim's mathematical stats as well. 28-0, Colonel Crawford leading Mount Gilead. Halftime here from Mount Gilead High School. You are listening to the Lewis Family McDonald's of Bucyrus and Guyon Game of the Week here on WBCO, along with watching on the OH Report.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. Generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
In business and ag banking, it's not just about the numbers, it's about the people. At First Federal Community Bank, we believe relationships are the foundation of every successful partnership. We can help you grow your farm through various ag programs, including working with our local FSA offices, as well as Farmer Mac. We have many commercial business programs to help make your day-to-day operations easy and convenient. Because when you bank with us, you're not just a customer, you're family.
young
culture
pup
of farmers in
and
America.
turned into a dog.
It really draws me to that. And not to mention that Mom's also the ag.
You getting cold, George?
In business and ag banking, it's not just about the numbers, it's about the people. At First Federal Community Bank, we believe relationships are the foundation of every successful partnership. We can help you grow your farm through various ag programs, including working with our local FSA offices, as well as Farmer Mac. We have many commercial business programs to help make your day-to-day operations easy and convenient. Because when you bank with us, you're not just a customer, you're family.
Let's hear it for the 2025 Colonel Crawford Eagle Marching Band. Let's hear it one more time for them. It's now halftime with the Mount Gilead Marching Band. Under the direction of Ross Bunyan, Assistant Director Zoe Paulus, along with color guard coaches Rosemary Kirkpatrick and Brooklyn Thornton. Tonight, the band celebrates an unforgettable fall season in Mount Gilead. They begin by performing a favorite from their first halftime show of the year, entitled The Music of DreamWorks. Featuring our Mount Gilead majorettes and color guard, please enjoy the music from How to Train Your Dragon.
Thank you, guys. Nick is here. Nick is here. Nick and Josh, yeah, just told us. He said, yeah, Josh texted me, said, come watch the game. He said, yeah, because then Gabe texted me about some play, and he's like, are you here? He goes, I just got here with Josh. He's like, no, I'm watching it on TV.
For the next piece, the band would like to celebrate the Halloween holiday as they will take you to a place. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver. For no mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
right,
Being
5,
brought to you by
4,
Fire Feed and Supply.
3,
Fueling
2,
Farms.
you're live.
Igniting care.
Back is what, 6-7 seconds, Tim? Or Anthony? He's doing 6-7. 6-7. He's getting hip with the. You almost threw a kid out.
I was going to throw kids out of school if they said it to me.
Come on, Tim. 6-7.
We're going home.
Hey, Colonel Crawford's looking to go home after this one.
Yes, they are. They're going to have a nice trip home right now.
Win. They're leading at halftime 28-0, Tim. And the only thing that didn't go to perfection was their final drive of the first half. They give up some yards there late in the second quarter. Mount Gilead still doesn't score, though. And Crawford all over in this one at 28-0. And right now it just seems like what can go their way is going their way.
Well, I think this first possession of the second half is going to be very important for Gilead if they got any chance of getting back in the game. And, I mean, it's just so crazy the way it's went because, you know, Mount Gilead's run 37 plays in the first half. You know, and Gilead's only run 16.
Yeah.
But Gilead's just, Crawford keeps breaking all those big plays. And, you know, Gilead is not. I mean, and where it is in the running game. They've run the ball 27 times for 84 yards. You know, so they're not averaging 3 yards a carry. 3 yards a carry.
No.
And so, you know, they're not used to that happening. And so they went to the, you know, they went to the passing game. He's throwing a couple nice ones. You know, he's 4 for 10. But again, it's not what they practice all the time. It's not what they do. And so they got to find a way to get, the biggest thing they got to do is find a way to get Barnum going. I mean, I got him running the ball 16 times for 38 yards. So he's not averaging 3 yards a carry.
No.
And that's with some favorable spots.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about favorable. We're talking 2 or 3 yards.
You know, so he's probably gained an extra 6 yards on the way they've spotted the ball for him. And, you know, but like I said, it's equal opportunity spotting. They've given Crawford some good spots too. So it's just Crawford doesn't have as many because most of their plays they're scoring, you know, out of their 16, they've scored 25% of the time that they've run a play. So 1 out of every 4 plays they run, they score. And so, yeah, so it's just been total domination, everything going right. But it's got to be, you know, Coach Day has made the first 4 minutes and last 4 minutes of the first half, the first 4 minutes of the second half really important, talking about the middle 8. And so technically, if you just go by yards, Gilead won the last 4 minutes. So they have to. Their problem is they might win the first 4 minutes, but they may only gain 25 yards because it's all going to be runs, probably. And that's what they got to do. They got to start moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, we'll come back with some other halftime scores, but there's some surprising ones out there, Tim.
Sure are.
Cary leading Margaretta right now at half, 21-7. So the N10 showing its dominance here
pretty
tonight.
Good night,
Mohawk
for sure.
trailing Lipsick only 14-7, which a lot of people wrote off Mohawk before tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Galleon handling somewhat of their business against Cloverleaf at 13-3. Maybe a little bit closer than most expected, but
a little.
That's how
they've had nights like that where Galleon's still really, you know, depended on their defense, and the defense won the game for them.
All right, so we'll step aside for just a few moments. 28-0 here on halftime. Colonel Crawford leading Mount Gilead. When we come back, we will have second half action here on WBCO and the OH Report.
Farmall. 100 years of can-do. 100 years of milestones. 100 years of family. generation after generation, its legacy lives on. The one for all since 1923.
At 13-3. So still one half
What
to
about-
go in this one.
You have skipped one that is local that I have a great deal of interest in. What is the Lex? And there it is. Toledo Central Catholic, my alma mater, beating Lexington 28-10. And it is not an upset, even though Central Catholic is the lower seeded team.
Well, you had some rooting interest last week in that game when they played Ontario, too.
Yes, well, that was a tough one because Aaron Eckert, my former player, is Ontario's coach. And so I was going to be happy whoever won.
So 28-0. Colonel Crawford. Mount Gilead will receive the second half kickoff. So, Tim, what are some ways to get going here? I mean, we talked about they got to get Barnum going, but Colonel Crawford, they've really held him in check. Mount Gilead has found some success going to the edge, though, with Tyler Haar.
Yeah,
and they have had some receivers open and just haven't been able to get the football to them, but there's been opportunities for Mount Gilead to maybe make this more of a game so far.
Well, yeah, they're going to have to, obviously, percentage-wise, do a better job of throwing the ball than they have all year. I mean, they completed 4 out of the 10, but it's not good enough. They're going to have to, really, when those guys are open, they got to get hit. And then, Barnum's got to be able to gain more than 2 and 3 yards. I mean, he's only going to run the ball. He seems to absolutely only run the ball between the tackles.
Yeah.
And so obviously he was very successful at it all year. But he's got to have some tonight. They're going to have to get 5 and 6, 7 yards out of him sometimes on first down.
6 to 7 yards?
Oh, yeah. I said it in a different way.
Yeah, it still counts.
Yards.
6 to 7 yards.
But yeah, so they got to do some things. But, and then the other thing, you got to slow down Colonel Crawford. I mean, they can't let Colonel Crawford have 2 and 3 play drives.
And I think that just speaks volumes for the way, that Crawford has played tonight. They have played pretty much a perfect game, Tim.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why they're up 28-0 right now. And that's just the way that it has gone so far for Mount Gilead here tonight, where Crawford has played to perfection.
As I was walking down the steps, I did hear a Mount Gilead fan say, well, we could score. They scored 28 in the first half. Why can't we score 28 in the second? And that's a good point. But that's going to be awful hard to do because Crawford's playing really well.
And if Crawford gets the first score of the second half, then we're talking a running clock. Then it's really hard to do.
Yes, that's the biggest problem they may have. And that's why I say this first drive is so important for Gilead. Gilead's got to get some points on the board. Because if Crawford gets it back quickly, and scores, now you got the running clock, which I don't care if it's only for one drive. It's still one drive can take up, especially the way Gilead plays.
They pretty much almost play with a running clock anyways,
it could
right?
take the whole quarter for them to score.
So Colonel Crawford with a 28-0 lead. Joseph Zizzo. And this time he will kick it out of bounds. So Mount Gilead will get some good field position here to start the second half from their own 35-yard line. And we'll see. You know, they had some success on that last drive of the first half there, Tim. Got it down inside the 30-yard line. Just couldn't punch it in. And
well, they were able to mix up the offense a little bit. They did complete on that drive. I think they completed 3 out of 5 and 3 out of 6. So if they can continue to even get that, obviously they can move the ball. But they just, it's 3 out of 5 or 3 out of 6, but it was only, for 22 yards. So they got to be able to hit a big one if they're going to come back, because you got to score quicker than they normally do.
So 1st and 10 here for Mount Gilead from their own 35-yard line. They'll run it around the edge. This is hard, turning the edge, and a nice open field tackle by Jacob Cochran at the 38-yard line with the open field tackle. A 3-yard pickup there for Har, but he's going to come up a little gingerly there and comes off to the sideline, and that's a big blow here for Mount Gilead if he's not able to come back into the game.
Well, and he plays both ways, so that's another defensive back and their defensive backs have gotten beat a little bit already, so that could really hurt as well.
That's where you talk about the depth, Tim, of Colonel Crawford. Now Barnum, he'll get the carry off the right tackle and push his way to the 40-yard line. Another gain of 4 yards there for Barnum, and over and up 3rd down and 4.
Don't forget, tonight's game's broadcasted on the OH.REPORT, WBCO.
So Mount Gilead with the all-important 3rd down here.
So the refs,
a minute into the second half.
We've joked a little bit about the spots, but they've called very few penalties. It looked like that time they easily could have called a hold, but they're not calling hold on either team, so I'm good with that.
Give or take a yard or two every time for the negating of the penalties. Barnum lowers the head this time, but Colonel Crawford meets him. Luke Chrisman.
That was a big-time collision.
First one to hit him, they'll pick up 2 yards here and bring up 4th down and 2. The Mount Gilead faithful telling Coach Reed to go for it. I think they are. Nope.
They're punting. No, 44 goes in, they're punting.
So Fricky will come back to punt, standing at his own 32-yard line.
They need to watch the fake here. Nope,
he will not fake it. He'll put it off his right foot, end over end, fielded by Weithman on the hop. Gets over to the 30-yard line, cuts it back inside
and he's
to the
get
40.
A block in the back. There's that
and to the 41, and now comes the flag.
And I don't know why.
I think that's a flag.
I don't know what that is. Is that where he fielded the ball?
Yes. I don't know. But regardless, no flag.
No flag.
Do you think there was a block in the back?
I didn't think it was, and that's why I was surprised. And then when he didn't throw it where it happened, so I guess their bags to mark where these things are going on are almost the same color as their flag.
All at the 41. Here for Colonel Crawford.
Good field position as
you talk about
it all night.
Just a 2 minute and 2 minute 13 second possession there for Mount Gilead. Thu goes in motion. They'll toss it that way. Connor McMichael is going to be the lead blocker. Thu across the 45, and he will be brought down at the 48. Rowan
nice
Thu.
7-yard gain. They just ran a little toss play with a couple guards out in front, along with Connor McMichael, who's also a good-sized running back, so he had plenty of blocking in front. Thu gained 7 on 1st down, makes it easy chore now to gain the next 3 yards in a couple plays.
Nope, they fumble it. Ball loose.
They got it. Gilead's got it, I believe.
And Mount Gilead indeed does have it. Exactly what they needed.
Yeah, I don't know if, you know.
I think, was he going to pull that?
That's what I was saying. It looked like he was trying to pull it. And Michael wanted to keep it.
So now Mount Gilead with the turnover.
And that can be the problem with the read play. If you know, the back just doesn't want to let go of the ball.
Now you got to take advantage of this.
Absolutely.
From the 47-yard line, under center is Fricky. Flighter in motion, and they'll be met by Luke Chrisman.
Well, he was all over that.
Got the ball, and then immediately Chrisman back there at the 50-yard line to make the tackle for loss.
And that was a gift of a mark again. Could have easily put it back a lot further, but a -3. And it's funny how the crowd is yelling stuff now at Coach Reed about his play selection and everything else. I bet they didn't yell much about it in the 9 wins.
Yeah.
Just a guess.
Just a slight guess.
Right.
Maybe in the Centerburg game. Back to pass. Fricky looking to the left, and he's dropped.
The big fella.
There he is. Payne DeGray. Sacked back at the 45. And the big fella, he's starting to get more and more offers from colleges, Tim. He gets the sack.
And well, he should. You know, it looked like he was trying to hit someone out in the flat short. It was covered, so he had to hold it a little longer than he's had to hold those other ones. And as has been the case all year, Payne DeGray making a big play.
So 3rd down here for Mount Gilead. What about 18? Fricky. Back to pass, looking to the left. Pressure coming from the other side, and I believe it's off the helmet of Payne DeGray, and it'll fall incomplete. And on the replay, it may have gone off of one of his own offensive linemen.
It was close to between the two of them, but there is a big offensive lineman and Payne DeGray. So,
but Fricky at 6 foot, and obviously Payne DeGray, he's got some height to him, and some of those offensive linemen do as well, but Payne DeGray at 6'5". Got to get that ball over him, but it falls incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th and long and a punt. And this punt, end over end, and it will roll out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
So a little longer.
Yep, they'll give it to the 25.
Field to go for the Eagles. And
so they flip the field, but they don't take advantage of the turnover and turn it into points, Tim.
No.
But Colonel Crawford's defense showed up on that drive. And that's what happens. You know, you're starting to throw the football a little bit more, obviously. That's something that you've been used to so far this year. And this is what we talked about at the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
what happens if Mount Gilead gets down?
Your offensive line is not used to practicing pass blocking.
Mm-hmm.
They are a line of road warriors that, you know, want to grind and grind and grind. They're not used to moving their feet and have to, you know, pass block great rushers, especially like one Payne DeGray.
Holt will be in at quarterback. He'll give it to McMichael off the right side. McMichael tripped up over the 25. And McMichael right up the middle goes to the 27. So a 4-yard pickup there for Connor McMichael. 2nd down and 6.
Just ran that outside zone play again and got a nice 4-yard gain. And that's the play they fumbled on, because he reads that, and if the defensive end or outside linebacker, the end line of scrimmage crashes down, he pulls it and keeps.
Holt to throw. Nope, they'll fake the throw and hand it off here on the draw.
I believe that was
McMichael to the 30.
Again.
Just a couple of yards there for McMichael. 3rd down and 4 here for the Eagles. You've seen them kind of hold back, especially towards the end of the first half, now at the beginning of the second half. offensively.
They get all their wide receivers in now. They don't have a running back in the game, so they're going 5 wide. And watch the possible draw here. Nope.
Right over the middle. Weithman on the slant, and he is off to the races.
You ain't going to catch
You're
him.
not going to catch
one
of one. Parker Weithman to the house. His 3rd touchdown reception of the night, 70 yards.
You know, obviously, Parker Weithman spent some time in the weight room. I know he only weighs 165 pounds. He breaks a lot of tackles.
And
there it goes again.
Yeah,
on
once
the
he
OH report, broke that tackle. And you're not going to catch him. There's no one in this stadium going to catch him.
No one behind at all after the slant from Parker Weithman. And that is his 3rd touchdown reception of the night. And now we'll have a running clock here from Mount Gilead. Zizzo's extra point is good. 35-0. And that might have been the dagger. Here,
I don't think there's,
that. I mean, you don't want to say it too early, but 5:15 left here in the 3rd quarter. It's Crawford 35, Mount Gilead nothing. You're listening to high school football here on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
And customer care hasn't is our mission.
Back here on WBCO and the OH Report. Now Gilead to receive the kickoff at the 10-yard line, working their way up the right side, close to the 30. Was Jacob Wilt. And Mount Gilead will take over 1st and 10 from their own 30. And now the clock rolling, Tim, 4:49.
Well, they're doing it the correct way. On change of possession, it's not supposed to start till you snap.
Now,
now
they'll
get the ball
start
ready.
It. Yeah, now they'll start it once they spot it.
And that's this has got to be just misery for Coach Reed right now, watching that clock run. No matter what, incomplete passes, everything.
They'll roll to the left after faking the handoff, throw it across the middle and over the head of everybody. And a flag comes in late, and it looks like this might be roughing the passer here, Tim.
Could be.
At least it's in that area.
Roughing the passer.
It is roughing the passer against Dom Dean. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. So the penalty pushes this forward to the 45 here for the Indians, who trail 35-0, but they pick up the 1st down on the penalty. But Tim, you're right. He has the arm to throw it. I mean, we've talked about the accuracy. How do you get a quarterback going here late in the season, as this one is incomplete?
And
it looked like it was intended for Caden St. Clair, but nobody really in the area.
Very close.
I think he was seeing the footsteps there of number 78 coming off the edge.
Well, normally if you're really inaccurate, it's mostly a footwork thing. And,
well, he threw off his back foot that time,
that
too,
time
right?
he threw off his back foot because of the pressure. But, and at this point, you're not going to really change anything.
It's really, you're going to play your game, and if Crawford beats you at your game, then it is what it is. You're not going to change the way you play, and that's the way you've played all season, and pounding the football, and Crawford has really taken that away here tonight. But a nice pass here from Fricky, but it'll be dropped. Flider, the intended receiver, and he was hit by Carson Rader basically immediately, so nice coverage there. Maybe Gabe Stratton as well.
You know, Crawford's able to gamble a little bit with their defensive backs if they want, because he doesn't throw the deep ball very well. You know, he's not been close, really, and even when guys are open. And so, you know, they can start sucking up on those, sneaking up on those short passes and knocking the ball down or just dislodging it on the catch.
2 minutes and counting left here in the third quarter. Fumbled snap and a whistle and a timeout before the snap here by head coach Mike Reed. So we'll take one as well. 35-0, Crawford on top, 1:56 to play here in the third quarter. We'll be right back.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
More alongside Tim Birie here from Mount Gilead High School as the Colonel Crawford Eagles lead 35-0 on top of Mount Gilead, coming out of a timeout. 3rd and 10 here for the Indians from their own 45. Fricky back to pass. Pressure coming from Payne to Gray, and he just lobs it out to the left. And the lone receiver in the area was Caden St. Clair.
Jared, you're being very, very generous with some of these the receiver in the area.
Well, it's either that or it's intentional grounding, right?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Because, yeah, that was not within 10 or 15 yards of anybody.
But he saw Payne DeGray coming once again, and
yeah, he was about to get
he said, "I'm not taking a sack at this point."
He was about to become
he says, "I don't care. We'll take the
sandwich.
We'll take the flag for intentional grounding if we have to."
Another pretty good punt.
Yep, he has gotten the punt going here as of late. Much better. Just had the one bad punt.
Well, he's been getting a lot of practice, to be honest. Unfortunately, I can't imagine he's punted anywhere near this many times in a game.
6 punts. And Crawford will have it 1st and 10 from their own 16. With 58 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. 8:40 here in Mount Gilead.
Once they spot the ball, the clock is now running again. And
may only run one play
they're
here.
They're going to run one or two plays at best, and the quarter's over.
They'll fake the handoff. Baker looking to throw
Wide
on the
open,
run.
Dom
It's
Dean.
Dom Dean making the catch, turning it up and down the sideline, and then he's ran out of bounds right at the 32 is Dom Dean. And that's good to see him get the feet moving. He's coming out of his tight end spot there and making the catch. Colonel Crawford starting to get healthy at the right time.
Yeah, he looked really good running the ball there.
They'll mark it at the 32, and that will more than likely be the last play here in the third quarter. Colonel Crawford leading 35-0 with the fourth quarter coming up here on WBCO and the OH Report.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
And the OH report. Colonel Crawford leading 35-0 to start the fourth quarter. And what has been complete domination here by the Eagles, and Connor McMichael again dives ahead over the 35. And now you're getting to the point, Tim, where what time do some of these guys start coming out?
I think if they do something on this drive, even if it's just a long drive without scoring, I think the next time
keep it conservative. And
he'll probably get the subs in. And
Baker to throw deep.
Got him again.
Down the middle. Weithman can't come up with it, and good coverage there at the last second, poked away by Hayden Summerlot.
Yeah, he might have just got a finger on it because it was in his arms.
That was a beautiful pass by Baker.
It was a heck of a
right
throw.
in the breadbasket.
Weithman's reaction after it was over was, I should have caught it. But, you know.
They had him.
Which
now,
would have
okay, so if you're
which would have put him well over 260 yards.
Tim, okay, so let's just say, you know, Centerburg moves on. They're playing. How do you cover Parker Weithman?
Well, they're pretty athletic, so
he'll get down the right side, across midfield, down the sideline.
He may go.
Peyton Baker,
he gets
is he going to take it to the house? He gets the block and finds the end zone.
What a couple blocks. Dom Dean, oh my gosh, what are they going to do? Call it bad celebration? Dean was what a crunching block at the end.
I don't think you can say this is a block in the back.
Oh, no. No, he just pushed him down. So what was that, 70 yards?
64 yards for Peyton Baker. They're going to say that the touchdown stands, at least according to Crawford.
Yeah, I think it's a post score.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was a bad celebration.
Oh, no, on a defense.
Oh, 4 on the defense. Oh, he's the one that got knocked over by Dom Dean. He must not have liked it.
Yeah. Can't imagine. So 9:20 to go.
Wow.
Peyton Baker.
It was just like a quarterback draw. A couple fakes, and then he took off. And, boy, Peyton Baker showing great speed running down the sideline.
Just been that kind of night.
Yep.
For the Eagles and Mount Gilead as well on the other end. It's Colonel Crawford 42, Mount Gilead nothing. 9:01 left here in the game. You're listening to high school football here on WBCO and watching on the OH Report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Game.
5-5.
Yeah.
9-5-8, 37.
Hope so.
Hey, so I was counting you down. You're live.
7-5 WBCO.
Back here on WBCO and the OH Report. Jared Moore, Tim Birie, Colonel Crawford leading 42-0. They'll kick off from the Mount Gilead 45 now. And just a squib onside kick here. Recovered at the 30-yard line by Mount Gilead. But Peyton Baker 64 yards to the house. Gives Colonel Crawford that 42-0 lead. Mount Gilead another possession here with 8:45 left in the game. But Tim, I think just to get back before, Peyton Baker kindly disrupted our conversation that we were having. How does Centerburg cover Parker Weithman? I mean, they obviously dismantled Mount Gilead as well earlier in the season. And Barnum, maybe his best carry of the night over the 35 this time, and stood up right at the 36.
I think the big thing that they're going to have to do is, I think that athletically they can do it. I think from what I've heard about, I haven't seen Centerburg, but from what I've heard about them, they have some pretty good athletes as well. So they might be able to cover, they do some great stuff scheming them, getting them running different places, getting them across the field. You might have to put two guys, put a guy in front and a guy behind.
Fricky to throw over the middle, just out of the reach of his intended receiver, Lane Reiser. The senior tight end almost corralled that one in, and that might have been his best throw of the night.
Running a nice like fat flag pattern, you'd call it, and Frick threw it pretty much on the money. Maybe could have threw it a little bit closer to him, but through his outstretched arms.
They'll hand it off again. Barnum continues to churn the legs and picks up the first down over the 40-yard line as he lowered the shoulder that time. And nice pick up there to get the first down over the 40 to the 41.
But the clock continues to tick.
Under 7 minutes to go, and even if Mount Gilead were to score a touchdown, they would still be down by more than 30.
Oh, gee.
There with a 42-0 lead. Tyler Haar, good to see him back in the game. He'll pick up the first down across midfield to the 49. Mount Gilead starting to move it a little bit here in the fourth quarter. As it's good to see Haar back out there.
Well, Colonel Crawford does have some of their backups in, and which is good to see them.
This will be Barnum again, cuts it back over the 45 and tripped up inside the 45 to the 43. He'll pick up 6 yards there, second down and 4. 5:58 left here in the game. Mount Gilead will rush it back to the line. Fricky under center here, gives it to Haar. Around the edge and caught from behind.
Cochran?
Nope, that was Tyler Lash.
Lash, okay.
With the open field tackle for loss back at the 45. Came bursting through the seam there, and a nice tackle by Tyler Lash. Centerburg on top of Ridgewood, 26-14.
That's a good win for Centerburg. Ridgewood's a good football team. Always have been. They've had a really good program for a long time.
Fricky fakes the handoff to Haar, looking for the throwback, throws it across the middle, caught. I think it was Flider making the catch in a first down to the 32-yard line. And another first down here for the Indians. 5 minutes to go. So Mount Gilead continuing to play here and seeing if they could punch it in here.
Third first down on this drive. Doing a good job moving the ball.
Looking for the end zone for the first time tonight. Under center is Fricky. They'll send Flider in motion. And it's Barnum trying to stay patient behind his offensive line, but he stood up at the 31-yard line, and the defensive line there of Crawford stands him up and takes him down, and it'll be a gain of 1 there for Barnum. Second down and 9. 4:10 left in the game. Fricky to throw. Throws it along the right side. Diving catch made. Nope, they're going to say incomplete. There is a flag on the play. Intended for Flider out there on the right side. And is this illegal touching? Maybe he stepped out of bounds.
I think what happened is they covered up the receiver, but then went down and had the ball thrown to him. It was not a lineman downfield, it was a receiver that was covered up. Missed a lineman.
As here's the call.
Illegal touching.
Yep, illegal touching by Flider. Must have stepped out of bounds there, Tim.
Received the ball. 5-yard penalty, lost it down, 3rd down.
Yeah, what they did is they covered up a receiver, and so
he was not eligible.
It wasn't a lineman downfield. It was a guy that, they had 2 guys standing next to each other on the line of scrimmage, and one can't run down the field.
So ball back to the 36. Fricky to throw again.
Got
Long
a guy
down
deep.
the right side and tipped at the last second.
Someone got his hand on the ball.
That was Van Wintersteller on the coverage at the last second, poked his arm out and
Just
knocked
caught
it
up,
away.
and there it is again on the OH report.
Yeah, Hayden
just caught up and got his hand on the ball to get it out
Hayden
of there, or it would have been a
Summerlot.
touchdown.
Yeah, Hayden Summerlot, the intended receiver. Van Wintersteller didn't turn his head around, but he put his arm in there at
Good
the last
coverage.
second, knowing the ball was coming, and
But
pokes it away,
again,
incomplete.
What's unbelievable is now there's about 2 minutes left in the game. 4th and long.
Fricky to throw, looking long down the middle.
again.
Summerlot caught, touchdown. Hayden Summerlot gets Mount Gilead on the board. Cole Fricky with a 36-yard touchdown pass.
By the way, we're now up to 33% of their passes this year have come in this game.
That's insane.
Yes.
Talk about it if you get behind. You're going to have to throw the football, and indeed they have.
They've
but
thrown it
obviously
18 times. And, they threw it 36 times coming in.
they're going to go for 2. Barnum lowers the shoulder and gets in for the 2-point conversion. It is 42-8. Colonel Crawford with the lead. Hayden Summerlot puts Mount Gilead into the end zone off the pass from Cole Fricky. We'll take a timeout. 42-8. Colonel Crawford on top. 1:07 left here in the game. We'll be right back.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
See the scoreboard for the first time tonight. No need there though. 42-8 with a minute to go. Onside kick fielded immediately here. And Crawford will field it at the 48. And I believe probably would only have to run one play here, Tim. But an all-around great performance. Hayden Spears in there on the coverage for Crawford to corral that football. Parker Weithman with 3 touchdown catches. I think you can imagine who our player of the game is going to be. And Mount Gilead, their season will come to an end, Tim, but, you know, a lot to celebrate here in Mount Gilead.
They don't have a quarterback in. Here we go.
With a 9-1 record, Matt Tesso, he wanted to take this snap.
Yeah. They forgot to bring a quarterback in.
So Holt will give it to Tesso along the right side. Tesso will be brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
That should do it.
And I believe that should be the last play, and it will be. Colonel Crawford moving on here in the Ohio High School Athletic Association state playoffs. And they will move on to round number 3. Colonel Crawford with the win tonight over Mount Gilead. 42-8 is your final. We'll come up and wrap this thing up right after this.
Finding great candidates.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Report. Colonel Crawford victorious tonight over Mount Gilead, 42-8, your final score. And the scoring got started early for Colonel Crawford. Just a minute and a half into the game, Connor McMichael with a 31-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0 Colonel Crawford. He would then score again 7 minutes later after a blocked punt by Walker Kramer. And Connor McMichael would run it in from 4 yards out to make it 14-0 Colonel Crawford. Then less than 2 minutes later, Tim, Parker Weithman, 53 yards to make it 21-0. He would tack it on again halfway through the second quarter, 28-0 on a 55-yard tip drill catch to himself. That was underthrown from Peyton Baker. And Parker Weithman, maybe the catch of the year there, to make it 28-0 at halftime. And then they would come out, they get the stop to start the second half. And then Parker Weithman with a 70-yard touchdown catch to make it 35-0. That one he had to do a little bit of work for.
Yeah.
But he raced his way up the middle of the field after the slant and the broken tackle.
Yeah.
To make
Which one did he hurdle the guy on?
That was, oh gosh, I think that was the 55 or 53-yard catch.
Yeah, that was the one he jumped over a tackle.
Yeah, that was his first one, and then
plays
the 55.
Baseball. Looks like he might be should be moving to track in the spring.
Well, either way, he's an all-around athlete, and you know we'll look forward to him on the basketball court. But he still has a couple more games maybe to play here for football as well. And you know, Peyton Baker tops it off with a 64-yard touchdown run. And then Mount Gilead would finally find the board with 2 minutes left in the game. A nice pass from Cole Fricky to Summerlot to make it 42-8. Give them the score there to end their season, which ends at 9-2. But the most successful season in Mount Gilead football, and it'll come to an end here tonight. But you know, a lot to be proud of here.
Oh gosh, yes, yeah. You know, Mount Gilead had a great season, 9-2. First time they won that many games in a long time around here, and so nothing to be ashamed of. Just got caught up in a team that played unbelievably well tonight. It's that simple. And again, you know, that bye thing. starting to wonder about that old bye thing, if it's worth it.
Yeah, you see it in the college playoffs, and now you've seen it here. And, you know, even though Galleon looked like they were rolling late, it looked like they got off to a slow start early in their game.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. So, you know, who are telling. You know, I mean, you know, like I said, as a basketball coach, I seldom took the bye. You know, I'd always ask my guys, what do they think? And they said, let's play, coach. I just don't think they like to practice. So, but, you know, I had a lot of success doing it that way, though.
First downs in favor of Mount Gilead, 11-5. And, Crawford with how many passing yards there, Tim?
I think
that's not right.
I think that might be a typo.
1,142.
I know they threw it pretty well tonight, but I don't think they gained a.
What do you got there, Tim?
Well, 219.
219.
So we got the rushing. We got them backwards. It was 219 passing yards and 142 rushing.
Okay, now we got it.
So it's still 361.
Total yards,
total, we got it.
Yeah,
but the whole thing is again, they only ran 26 total plays for the game.
Yeah, perfection for the most part. They get the one turnover.
When you're getting about 15 yards a play, you're in good shape. Yeah, they had the one fumble.
And then the one, that Coach Bruner's going to look at is those 2 penalties for 20 yards, and that's an improvement so far from what has happened the rest of the season.
And then huge. I mean, the biggest thing is, for Mount Gilead, they had 11 first downs, but they rushed the ball 37 times for 97 yards. So, again, they did not average 3 yards a carry overall. And, and that was the key to the game. Because then they got them throwing the ball. They were only 6 of 18, so better than they usually throw it for 80 yards. But, that's what they wanted to do, is turn it into that kind of game, and they did. And so congratulations to the Eagles as they will move on. Looks like they'll play Centerburg.
Yeah, they were up, 26-14.
Late.
On Ridgewood. So looks like that'll be Centerburg and another KMAC versus N10 matchup.
Absolutely.
But Centerburg, they were able to take care of business against Mount Gilead. That's why they won the KMAC. They beat Mount Gilead back on October 3rd.
Similar score to this.
46-0. So, based on that score and based on this score, you would say that both Centerburg and Crawford would be evenly matched. So we'll see.
Should have a pretty good game.
Here in just a few moments, as we'll give our players of the game here, and I know Parker is going to work his way up here. I just gave it away, obviously. I think we know who our player of the game
it was obvious. He had a pretty good game.
Three touchdowns, 55 yards, 53, and 70?
4 catches for 188 yards.
Yes, and
so,
and so he only had.
When you're averaging,
what are you doing? One of those.
When you're averaging about 47 yards a catch, that's pretty good, unless you only caught 1. But he caught 4. So he had quite a night.
Yeah, an all-around great night for Colonel Crawford, and we talked about it. What will Centerburg do to match up with him, and we'll find out next week. The game.
Well,
plan.
they got a veteran coaching staff over there. Coach Colello, I believe his name is. He's been there forever. He was their defensive coordinator before he became the head coach. And then Jimmy Stoyle, who was their head coach at one time, I believe, is back there as his offensive coordinator. And so, they've been around a long time. So I'm sure they'll both do a good job. So we got Parker on his way. So I need to give him my headset. I believe
4 catches for
188.
188. What's he doing on that other catch, Tim?
Be careful on those stairs, Parker.
Yeah. Hey, little man, come hold this shirt right here.
There you go, Parker. Great job, bud.
Yeah.
Where do you want me to sit?
As Parker, he is going to be our Lewis Family McDonald's player of the game as well here on WBCO, as well as our MVP here for the OH Report. Congratulations over Mount Gilead, 42-8. He is our MVP here on the OH Report, also on WBCO, our McDonald's Player of the Game. So congratulations, Parker, and you. 4 catches, 188 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I guess the one question I have is, you didn't score the 4th touchdown on the other catch, but 3 touchdowns is a nice consolation prize.
Yes, sir.
And what exactly was going through your mind? I know Peyton, he kind of underthrows that ball to you. You tip it to yourself. Just what was your thought process there on making that touchdown catch?
Pretty much just go make a play. I saw it was a little underthrown, so I had to go make a play on the ball for sure.
And indeed you did. You also had a hurdle down the sideline in that first quarter for a touchdown catch. But, I mean, we could talk about the offense tonight and what you guys did, but I think, you know, on the opposite end, you and the defense came to play here. That defensive line did a great job up the middle of the field. The linebackers did their job, and you guys did what you had to do defensively as well.
Yes, sir. I mean, we definitely had to stop number 32. He's a great player, 1,800 yards or something. So we had to stop him for sure. We knew that we had to come in here prepared.
Now it looks like you guys will face Centerburg next week. Obviously, you were focused on this game, but another week to play, Parker, and I know that was obviously the goal.
Yes, sir. We'll have to have a big preparation this week for sure for Centerburg.
All right, and who do you want to give your shout-out to, Parker?
Shout out my family, Declan right here. Shout out Coach Helbert from Shelby and my CGI class, quarterbacks, coaches, everyone pretty much.
All right, you guys get the win, 42-8. Congratulations, Parker. Thanks for coming up here and giving us this interview, and good luck next week against, more than likely, it looks like Centerburg.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Parker Weithman, our MVP, also our Lewis Family McDonald's Player of the Game. Congratulations, Parker. Thanks, Parker.
Thank you.
And that's going to wrap things up for us, Tim. Any final thoughts?
Just looking forward to another week next week. And, you know, as I said at one point during the game, another short trip for me. I'm not used to it. I'm going to stay in Knox County.
Well, you know, you don't get those very often, so you're going to have to take advantage of it all you can.
Remember we did one at East Knox together.
Yeah, that's
against
true.
Crawford.
Yeah,
it's Crawford East Knox. So, second time. My daughter's alma mater, but I'm doing it.
All right, there we go. Well, we'll find out a week from tonight. Playoff football, nothing better than that. We'll
Absolutely.
have Crawford and Centerburg next week. And that will be a matchup to look forward to for the OH Report. Thanks for joining us. I'm sure we'll maybe back together in a week from tonight as well. For Danny Lang back in the studio, for Tim Birie here with me. Once again, your final score tonight. Colonel Crawford 42, Mount Gilead 8. Colonel Crawford moving on in the playoffs. This is Jared Moore. I am signing off, saying so long and good night.